Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a powerhouse. Please give a big, high-energy welcome to the unstoppable Debbie Foreman.
I was born in 1969 in San Diego, California, into a Jewish family building a life on the West Coast. When I was 3, we moved to Los Angeles, and by second grade, to Culver City, where my parents still remain. That's where my first what the fuck moment happened. My first taste of what I now call a gap. A moment where the world didn't make sense, where something felt off, unfair, and broken. The first moment I remember when I was hushed and guided to shun away from the taboo I was subjected to. That moment sparked a lifelong quest to understand the gaps between people, systems, and opportunities, and to find ways to close them. What are gaps? What are the societal taboos associated to them? How do they smother our worthiness? And how do we shatter them for bold, bankable growth? As a teen, I studied in Australia, later in Spain. Each experience revealed new gaps in culture, in communication, especially in education. I realized the world was full of invisible divides, and I could not unsee, unhear, or unknow them. We know them, we see them, we feel them, we perceive them. Society prescribes them as unacceptable. They're not accepted. In my late teens, at the age of 19, I moved to Brazil, a land that changed everything and where I resided for 35 years. Working for global companies abroad and in their startup operations like United Airlines and Bax Global, I kept encountering the same gaps in leadership, processes, and people. That's where my first frameworks were born. When you see it laid out in a chart, the problems and the causes that are associated to them, it kind of makes sense. But when you don't have that, it's gut-wrenching. You feel it in your gut, and it becomes overwhelming in your mind. Ways to turn frustration into solutions and chaos into structure. As I built my own businesses, I saw gaps everywhere in access to resources, access to equality, access to technology, and most of all, the accepted cultural way of doing things. So I made it my mission to design tools that help others close them. For 3 decades, across dozens of countries, I've helped companies, communities, and individuals build bridges, not walls. My biggest gaps weren't professional. They were personal. Health and mobility challenges, heartbreaks, loss, and most of all, rebuilding from zero. Each one tested the frameworks I'd built and proved what had worked for others over decades also worked on me. It became my way to survive, to heal, and to grow stronger. How do we flip? When we are taught from when we were young, from a childhood, and people say to us, hi, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a nurse, a keynote speaker, a consultant. That's what I want to be. And we learn that at the same time that we're going through grammar development. Verbs, adjectives, nouns, prepositions, and so forth. And we learn to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be I want to be a commodity. At the end of 2022, after 35 years abroad, I returned to the US with my daughter and $500 in pocket, walking away from a disastrous situation, knowing the setback was 1 step back for 2 steps forward. I had no network, no resonance, no credit history, no plan, just faith. So I used my own method, GAP TRAX, to rebuild my life from scratch at the age of 53. What began as survival became a system, and that system became a movement. Today, GAP TRAX is more than a business. It's a legacy. It's about empowering humankind to unveil the gaps in their own lives and giving them the tools to fill them. Because every what the fuck moment is a chance to build something better. And that's the story I'm here to tell. A journey that brings people together to shatter the gap taboo for bold, bankable growth.